So continuing on, I'm just going to show another thing that you can do, and that is you can use your feet to also get in on people. It's not realistic to think you're always going to be able to do everything with your hands. Again, in Warrior Flow, we deal with what is the art of the possible. You know, we don't try to shortchange ourselves by thinking we're the only game in town. In other words, in real fights, people just go for it. And so that's how you should train your mind. You know, chances of you dealing with a trained fighter in a real fight, if you train, are very slim. But here's the thing. Let's say I got a little distance people can see. Say I got a guy for whatever reason. I mean, he may even have a weapon, and I need to buy myself time to keep him off me. So I'm just going to throw that kick in there. All this is just a front kick, but I have every intention when I throw that kick to break their leg if necessary. If they're coming in and I throw the kick and they stop, because I cause them to hesitate and pause, it's almost as good as if I kicked them anyway. So it's just a simple front kick. Sometimes, you know, people say, well, what about the heel kick? Yeah, I mean, fine, whatever you want to do. But the point is, by me throwing the kick, especially if he's got a weapon, it now extends my reach, because now at a low angle, it puts greater distance between my head and his hands. For example, if Anthony throws a strike and he puts his foot on my leg, just put your foot on my leg. From here to here, this little push, please. Whoa, that's a problem, because even though he's given up reach by using his foot, he now puts greater distance between my weapons or my hands and his head, and then it allows him, just do it again, just do it again. It allows him to step in where he wants to step into the fight. Really simple technique. Grandmaster Perkins used to do this all the time, where he would just throw a kick and just be in on people, and it would be over, because he would just step in so fast, but he would still slightly get offline that you just didn't have time to respond to it, because he wasn't playing around. Now, I know when people see these videos, they always say, well, you know, I would do this, I would do that. Well, maybe as a trained fighter, you might, maybe. But the truth is, even if you're a trained fighter, and this is why I always tell people why at Warrior Flow, we only deal with motion. A guy trying to throw a punch at me, whether he's trained or not, as a guy still trying to hit me, I'm going to respond accordingly, because I'm just dealing with your motion. And if I can recognize the pattern of your initial movement, that's good enough for government work. In other words, we focus on a lot of embodied cognition, because that's really how real techniques actually work. It's not, okay, he's throwing the punch, now I'm going to do this technique. No, what it is if you do it enough, you start recognizing the patterns soon enough in their movement to be able to do something about it, because you now have enough time to do something about it, because you've embodied the understanding of what it means and also the context of that situation. So as I'm practicing, or if I'm doing this stuff, and somebody's, you know, I'm coming in on Anthony, he throws that kick, I got to have the presence of mind, even as a skilled fighter, that he's capable of doing that. You know, one of the things in Warrior Flow, I always say this, you know, my instructors hear me say this all the time to students, is, you know, I assume, even if it's not true, obviously, I assume everybody knows what I know. And the reason I go in with that understanding is because anybody, if what we're saying is true, anybody can do the right thing by accident. So I assume everybody knows what I know. Everybody knows how to do what I do, because it's the only way I can keep myself honest from doing something stupid like walking in with so much overconfidence that I end up getting punched out in a situation where there was no need for that to happen. Maybe even not even get into the situation at all, because I have enough sense to say, hey, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. So hopefully this gives you some ideas of how I get in on people who have reach. It's not hard stuff. Most people that I see put videos out, they overcomplicate this, because they're still too technique focused, not realizing, you know, you only need for that microsecond to get offline, get your hands up and start clearing your hands. And, you know, 90% of everything you need to do is already done. And then of course follow through it and hit them as hard as you can. If you're practicing, I'll just do this, rolling the hands forward. I would also practice using the palm, doing hammer fists, and even going up and down, and also doing it side to side, feeling your body as it moves out of the way, doing it from side to side. So you get the feel of how to position your body, so as you're stepping, you get this kind of continuous fluid flow. And then of course when you're practicing on your bob, or you're practicing on, you know, like a heavy bag, you know, try not to do it to your partner, because you run out of partners. You want to hit with the authority, with every intention of busting them up. One of the things I will show, because showing off a little bit, you bring your hands up. One of my other ones I do, maybe I'll do another video in the future a little longer, is how I use open-handed strikes as well. I will also use the palms, but I'll also use the backhand. I will do chops, I'll do hammer fists. I also like to do the backhand. And how I set that up is, I practice rolling my arm forward just to get this nice relaxed motion, and then I just drop that thing right, you can see, I'll put that right through. And so when he moves in on me, boom! And then of course, add the coup de grace. And what I'm doing is as I'm dropping that arm down, I'm dropping with my mass. It's not this. This is just to get that basic motion. And then because my hand is relaxed and I'm hitting with this part of the hand right in here. I'm not hitting with the fingers. I'm hitting from here and down. So even if I catch it with the forearm, because my hand's relaxed now, I can roll it over, catch, kick them in the balls, whatever I'm going to do. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, but everything I do basically is very, very simple stuff, but it all revolves around how I move my body from one position to the next in anything that I do.